Hello everyone and welcome to episode 29 of the YarderWoman podcast. My name is Melinda. I am known as YarderWoman on Ravelry and Instagram, and you can find show notes for this podcast with all the links and everything I talk about at www.yarderwoman.blogspot.com.au. I've also got a Ravelry group for the podcast, which is just called YarderWoman Podcast. So come over and join if you haven't already. We often have giveaways every time we reach the next 100 members. So I believe we're about 15 people away from having 1,300 members. So go and join if you haven't already, because then there'll be a prize draw even sooner. Today is Saturday the 29th of September. No, it's not. It's Saturday the 19th of December. Episode 29, but it's the 19th date. So that scared me momentarily because the year is already passing too quickly as it is. So yes, the 19th of September 2015. Did I even say September the first time or did I say December? Regardless, it's the 19th of September 2015. It's a Saturday. Ah, dear. I have been exceedingly busy in work and life because I'm actually a week later recording than I usually would be. So it's been 3 weeks since I last recorded and I've really missed it. But last weekend, I just did not have time. And then when I did have a little bit of time on the Sunday afternoon, I was just too exhausted. I was battling a cold. I've been on the cusp of a cold for several weeks, but I've just been downing heaps of vitamins and everything to try and keep my immune system at an okay level. So yes, I'm very glad to be here with you. As I said, so busy. I've had, unfortunately, some bad news in terms of extended family medical issues, so that's been very stressful and upsetting. I won't go into it because it's not my business to discuss. But yeah, it's been that time period where anything that can happen does happen. So many major events and things happening at work. I did have fun the other day. I did a really big presentation to about 200 people. So I was the master of ceremonies, and thankfully, public speaking doesn't bother me too much, so I wasn't nervous, but there was a lot of work leading up to it to make sure everything was there. Everyone who was invited came, but that went off really well, so that was really nice, and it was sort of a bit more relaxing after that. But then I got home that night and was just, slumped over in the chair, and Sophie, the team, said, "Oh, are you going to take tomorrow off?" I said, "No, because the next big project starts tomorrow." So yes, I'm hoping to have some time off, maybe late October, early November. We shall see. That will actually be when I finish doing the managerial role that I've been doing since February. I'll go back to my assistant manager role then. So I think once I've done a bit of a handover, that's when I can take some leave, which will be very nice indeed. I haven't done a lot of knitting lately because when I have had time, I've just been too tired. And then annoyingly last weekend, I started 2 new projects because I thought, yes, I finally got a bit of time to get something done. You'll see what happened to those later in WIPs. But anyway, never mind. I hope you have had a lovely few weeks since we last saw each other. Let's go with the show because I've got a lot to talk about, and we'll broach the subject first of all. Today's brooch is one that I was given as a gift, so I don't have the details, I'm afraid. So I'm sorry if you like it. It's like one of the more recent episodes of Knitting in Circles. Their title was, "Look at this, you can't have it." Sorry about that. But it's lovely vintage fabric, red and white, obviously very nice. And it was actually bought for me by one of my previous directors at work when he went to Hobart in Tasmania. If you're familiar with what Australia looks like on the map, there's a small island state right down the bottom eastern side. That's Tasmania, and Hobart is the capital city. And he went there for a conference and he bought back brooches for myself and the couple of other people who were in our team. So that was very sweet, and it's one of those things that goes nicely with what I'm wearing now, which is a print t-shirt. So it's that yellow in the middle is from the character The Flash from DC Comics, and then it's the joke is it's a camera flash. So this t-shirt is from Hey That's Super on Etsy, and if you have seen some of my posts on Instagram, and I've also got a thread up in the Ravelry group, Hey That's Super have actually brought out YarderWoman t-shirts. So exciting! Travis from Hey That's Super has been a sponsor for our, I think it was the Pop Culture Knit Along back in March, so that was really generous of him then, and that's when I bought this t-shirt back at that time. There's also the Dark Knit, which last episode I wore the Dark Knit badge, so you will have seen that. And he contacted me to say he was really, really keen to design a YarderWoman shirt, so pardon me, see I'm fighting the cold. So very excitingly, he's now come out with that fabulous design. Until the end of September, the t-shirt will be offered in 8 different colours. And then from October onwards, they'll be reduced in availability of colours to a few standards. So if you're interested in any of those colours that I've just shown then, get in now. There is also a discount code for YarderWoman viewers. If you enter the word, all one word, all uppercase, YarderWoman, you can get 15% off your order for anything in the store, not just the YarderWoman t-shirts. And as I'm saying that, I'm not sure if that is the case. So my apologies, humblest apologies if that's wrong. It may just be off the YarderWoman shirts, but put in the code, it'll deduct where it's supposed to deduct. You can also get tote bags in the YarderWoman print, and they come in red, yellow, pink, or ecru, like natural fabric. So those are in the same design with the different fabrics as well. So jump on and get some. It's so exciting. I have some coming. Can you guess what colour I got? Red. Did you know that? Funny, isn't it? Anyway, so when that arrives, I'll wear that next time. Actually, it'll probably be a similar red colour to this, but with the YarderWoman instead of the flash. So that is just so exciting. I can't believe it. My first, apparel merchandising. Obviously, Damien's done my badges, and that is fantastic as well. And speaking of which, as well as still using the badges for prizes, you can now buy some of your own off eBay. So I will put all the links in the show notes to take you direct to the site. The way they have been listed is for domestic within Australia, the shipping is just included in the price. For international, it wouldn't let us do that, just one price. So we adjusted the cost of the badge so that it'll work out the same anyway. So just the shipping will be listed separately, but the pricing will be worked out the same as how we were going to have it. So they'll come in pairs. So I'm just going to hold up the 4 choices. The way I'm holding it is not the way they are. You'll be able to pick which pairs you want to have. But they're the 4 designs, all very reflecty at the moment. So yes, jump on eBay, direct to the listings, and you can get your own badges. As I said, I'll still be using these for giveaways, but if you just can't wait, then you can get your own. So thank you very much for your support, both of the t-shirts and of the badges. We really appreciate it, and how exciting! I actually have a couple of finished objects because I finished them a while ago before the extra madness of work stuff stopped me from doing a lot of knitting, so that's good. But you may notice I've put my glasses on because my eyes are a bit dry today. So this is helping me actually see the screen a bit better. I meant to tell you last time about the glasses. When I was trying them on, the optometrist was helping me pick a frame that would suit my face, which was really good. He was, being brutally honest in a polite way, like, oh, maybe this one instead, that sort of thing. And as he was bringing them to me, I was saying, oh, I really do need to get red or a black, maybe a purple, because, a lot of my clothes are those colours. And he brought me these jade green ones. He goes, oh, sometimes it's good for a contrast. And I was like thinking, no, you don't understand. It has to be red and black. Yes. So these have black on the sides and the red on the front. So yes, it was quite amusing. I told people at my work that, and they were like, oh, we understand. Yeah. But on to finished objects. I did these. These are the little hand warmers called the Once Upon a Time mitts, which is a pattern by Susan B. Anderson, a free pattern. And they are in the Knit Picks Felici in the colourway Teacup. I think they came out very cute. I hope the thumb hole is big enough. They're for, how old is she? 2 or 3? It's my friend's little girl. So I hope it's okay On the second pair, I actually knit the hole too big, so then I had to sew it up a little bit because I couldn't elongate the other one, but hopefully they're okay. So that were those. They're very nice and soft. So I have to make another 2 pairs of those for the recipient of these 2 sisters, so that will be coming shortly. And my second finished object is my Star Shower cowl. So pretty, and I'm just looking at it now and I haven't snipped the ends off, so oh well, I'll do that later. So I love this. So stunning. So happy with it. It's a wonderful pattern to knit. I think I'll definitely make another one. And this was using white birch fibre arts in a self-striping in the dark matter colourway. And it was where you can see, especially here, there was some solid black, but then the black would sort of merge between the black and the red, and then some red. Lovely, lovely yarn, gorgeous colourway. Obviously, as it got a bit wider in the round, the stripes are not anywhere near as thick, but you can still see the self-striping effect. And I love it. The only thing is, because it's a cowl, let me pop it on. So obviously I wouldn't wear a neckerchief with it, but so you've got the cowl part, so you can have it down like that, but then you can also wear it around your shoulders, but it's not quite as wide, and I'm guessing I probably just had a different gauge to perhaps the pattern, and I guess the lady who's modelling it, who may be the designer herself, Hilary Smith Callis, I'm not sure if that is her in the pattern or not, she's, I think, a bit narrower than my shoulders. Not that my shoulders are that wide, but so when I have it on, and when I first did this, I had to get Damien to pull it down at the back, and you can sort of see it's, you know, really quite tight and stretching across. So it might be something more that I wear as a side thing, or anyway. He said it looked like an outfit from the game Final Fantasy VII, and I thought that was pretty cool, so I was very happy with that. So yeah, you can see you could wear it as a side thing, but it's now, we're in spring here in Perth, or the southern hemisphere, but in terms of our weather, we've actually had spring-like weather. That has been freezing cold some mornings, but yeah, it hasn't been cowl-wearing weather. So it's finished, but I think it will be waiting till next winter to actually get proper usage. But I'm very happy to have it. I really recommend this pattern and really recommend this yarn. So let's go on to see what the works in progress are. This is the item that has been getting the most love over the last few weeks. This is my Okanagan Orchard by Marsha Ibuki, who is Marsha of Fairy Little Twist and Stitch podcast. It is growing quite a bit. However, there is still a lot of yarn left. This is the joy of working with lace weight yarn, in that you knit and knit and knit and knit and knit, and it doesn't grow very quickly. But this is going to be quite a big item, as you can see. I think I actually need more yarn than I have here, because this is No Makers. It's Polyjuice Potion colourway in the Dainty Silky Gnome base, which is 80/20 merino silk. And as you can see here, it's 875 yards, and I'm quite sure this pattern calls for 900 or something. Excuse me a moment. The pattern calls for 840 meters, so I'm not quite there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, because I did order another skein of lace weight separately to this in a plain purple, thinking I could do the edging, but it doesn't match in any way, shape or form. So I might have to look at the pattern and see if I can take out any lines so that I don't get to the end and have nowhere to go. But anyway, lovely, lovely yarn. So soft. Looks like pine cone now, doesn't it? Beautiful colours. I think Mum's going to love it, because this is for Mum for Christmas. She has seen me knit on it a few times, but and even if she guesses it's for her, I think it'll be okay. There'll still be a surprise when it's finished, because right now this doesn't, you know, while it's all squished on the needles, it's not very obvious what it is. So what it is going to be, it's sort of a cowl shawl, very drapey, very long. I think it'll suit Mum's style very nicely, and these colours will just be beautiful. So Christmas time here, obviously being summer, it will be perfect, I think, for a cool summer evening to just wear either over as a cowl shape or just wrapped around like a bit of a wrap. So really enjoying that. I've been taking this as my travel project, so it's getting a little bit big. So the bag I did have it in was this cutie one from Little Skein and the Big Wool. There's the tag. That I don't want to squish it up too much because I don't want to ruin it. So I've been using another Little Skein bag, which is the Alice in Wonderland. And that way I can squish it in a bit more. I've been taking it back and forth this week and barely knitted on it all, but I thought if I don't take it, there's going to be some sort of situation where I need my knitting and I don't have it, so it's been going. So that's just ongoing. I'm not sure when I'll finish it. I'll just keep plugging away. But it is quite simple. You need to refer to the pattern to see what line you're up to, but the lines, the different stitches you're doing are quite easy to remember and know what you're doing. So once you're going with it, you can just sort of mindlessly knit along, as long as you don't go too far and do too many rows, which I think I did a few times, which is not really going to help my yarn amount situation, but never mind. And my second project that I've been working on is the Windswept Shawl by Molly of A Homespun House. Isn't it great? Can't you just really see the stitch pattern? It's beautiful, isn't it? Yes. The stitch pattern is beautiful. This yarn is gorgeous in the stitch pattern. In fact, here's a photo I can show you. And the reason that the photo doesn't look anything like the yarn right now is because I had to rip it out. All my own fault, nothing to do with the pattern, nothing to do with the yarn. So I started knitting one from each ball, and I did one using a 5mm needle and one using a 6mm needle to see which one I like best. The 6mm it changed the shape completely of the different stitches, so I thought, cool, I'll go with the 5. Knitting along, and going, stitch pattern looks beautiful, not a lot of drape. Keep going. This is what happened the last time when you knitted the trickle shawl. There wasn't enough drape and you didn't like it and ripped it out after doing a lot. I'm sure it'll be fine though. Knitting along. Just don't know about this drape. Knitting along. Yeah, etc. So I finally put a picture on Instagram and sort of said, what do you think? And several people said, yeah, a bit tight. I was like, I know. But it's all good. Ripping out, good to go. So I need, I think, a 5.5mm needle. I don't own a 5.5mm needle, and that's why this is still sitting here like this. The yarn is from the wonderful One Twisted Tree, and the colourway is Shrewd Lady Mary, which I just thought was a very funny colourway name. And it's just beautiful. That's coming out pretty true to colour. It's beautiful sort of eggplant sort of shade. Even down to sort of the brownie tones would be like the inside of an eggplant. So I love it. Because I've been wanting to make a purple shawl. And I've been thinking more, I'm looking around, I don't see anything purple. I've been thinking more of a, purple. I'm still looking, it's all good, there's nothing purple near me. But, and I didn't order this because I was trying to get a purple. I just ordered it because I liked it. So this would have been showing in acquisitions, and I've got some more things behind where you're sitting at the moment, and not where you're literally sitting, where you as the camera are sitting. And this was part of one of my stress yarn orders I mentioned last time, and I just love it. And it's so, the different variations in the colours are just really, really pop on the stitch pattern of the Windswept. So I'm very much looking forward to that, but I'm going to have to buy some 5.5mm needles. And unfortunately, the place I used to get the interchangeable tips for these, I think this must be the 5mm, yeah, that's what I was using. So this is the Knit Pro brand, and the interchangeables. The yarn shop I used to get these from doesn't exist anymore. So there's nowhere I can just easily get them. I'm going to have to order something online. And I have not done that yet, so they hasn't been recast, but that's okay. It'll get there. Do you want to see what else I was knitting? Yeah, these socks. What do you think? Great socks, huh? Yeah. Also ripped out. This was, last weekend I was so excited to be able to cast some new things on because the 10th of September is when the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party, I mentioned last time I don't like saying that, so PS Party, that kicked off on the 10th of September, and that runs the same period as the NFL football in America, which I'm not interested in, but I'm doing the knit along, so you don't need to be interested in football. So this is Desert Vista Dye Works, and the colorway is Somebody wants to drink your blood. You have to say it that way, otherwise it's not right. So it's one of the zombie stripe colorways, self-striping yarn. So I've got 2 cakes made up from the one skein, so I could do my concurrent socks. Thankfully, I didn't cast on the second one yet. So this yarn is a fairly light fingering, you can see there. So I thought I will use 2mm needles. So I've got 2 pairs here of, I think these are Addy lace, yes, in 2.0mm, which I think might be a size 0 in US sizes. So I thought, you know, quite thin yarn, so I use thin needles. I'm quite a tight knitter. That way the fabric will be good for socks. And I knit, I think, the entire ribbing and then measured against these socks, which are the white birch fibre arts, sorry. You can see I still haven't sorted out the toe yet. These were done with the 2mm needle and 70 stitches. But this yarn is a bit thicker if you hold up the 2 yarns together. Can you see that? Yeah. So these came out really small. And at first I thought, maybe I'll just give them to someone with smaller feet. And then I thought, no, I actually want them. I really like the colours. It's my first Desert Vista Dye Works, my first zombie stripe. So they've been ripped out and I haven't worked out what I'll do yet. I might have to go up to a 2.25mm needle. But I am keen to get the thicker fabric, so they might actually not be socks. Maybe I'll do a scarf or something where maybe one, what's it called? I've gone blank, but you start narrow and then when you're halfway through your yarn, you go down again, so it sort of becomes like a pointy triangle. I might do that, do half and half. I'll see. I would like socks out of them, but you know, if these were 70 stitches on a 2.0mm needle, how many am I going to have to get to do this? Because there's quite a significant size gap, so we shall see. So yes, there's been a lot more negative knitting or invisible knitting. I was talking about this with Jana Nav, and she said I could purloin when knitting attacks from the Knitmore girls and be knitting attacks YarderWoman. I was going to say, YarderWoman has an invisible jet, so this could be YarderWoman's invisible knitting. YarderWoman is frustrated with her knitting, so I just want things to work and I just want to be able to do it and get on with it. First world problems, I know, but still, never mind, I'll get there. Our charity cal is going along really nicely. There's a lot of finished objects in the thread. There's a lot of people who have bought patterns where the money has gone to charity, and we've also had some great chatter. So those are the 3 places that you can get prizes for entering. I will be soon making some face washes that will be going into my charity collection. So I haven't started those yet, so I won't show you, obviously, because there's nothing to show, and we've seen enough invisible knitting, I think, today already. So thank you very much to our 3 sponsors that we have for this knit along. We have Paula Emmons-Feasley, who is Paula from the Knitting Pipeline podcast. She has generously given us a copy of her new pattern, Wild Goose Shawlette. That's one of them. Thank you very much to Nina from Give Me a Crown. She has a shop on Etsy and she also has a great podcast that I've mentioned before. So you can jump on YouTube and see that. She may be iTunes as well, but I watch her on YouTube. This is my version of the bag, but the prize is the same one. Wondering what's in there. It's my leftover white birch fibre arts from my Star Shower cal. As you can see, I have a lot more yarn and I could have kept going, but I think I wasn't sure, like I hadn't been weighing how much each repeat section was taking me, so I didn't want to risk it. So some of that will go into my Cozy Memories sock blanket and some might go to some other people's Cozy Memories sock blanket, who knows. That's the tag as well, because I didn't have that before. So yes, this is the second prize, the lovely cherries and the gingham inside. And then the third prize has been donated to us from Query Fibre. This is a gradient sock but you can obviously use it for whatever you like. But it's 100 grams, 75-25 merino nylon, and it's in the sunrise colorway. And look at that, isn't that stunning? Sorry, because it's in the box, there's a bit of reflecty going on there, but I think you can see. So we've got the beautiful dark blue and then going into a reddy orange, just like a sunrise. So beautiful, beautiful yarn. Tough to give away, but that's okay. It's for a charity knit along, isn't it? So yes, get your entries in, come and chat. Even if you don't finish, remember, just come and chat in the chatter thread. If you're buying a pattern or have bought a pattern that had money, went to a charity through the purchase, then enter that in the relevant thread and come along in. I'm not sure, I think I might have mentioned in an early episode when I talked about how I started knitting, that I knit a whole lot of scarves for an orphanage in Mongolia, or rather I was knitting a whole lot of scarves and that's where they ended up going. So charity knitting has always been quite a theme in my own knitting journey, if you like, and I don't do as much as I should now. So I definitely want to get back into that. As I said, I'm going to do a whole lot of face washes. I'll be sending those to a women's shelter here in Perth, but I'll also do a few to go over to Sally Jane and Rachel from the Pink Hair Girl podcast. And they, of course, do the big charity collection for the Children's Burns Unit in Cape Town Hospital that I've mentioned before. One of the patterns you can purchase that has money that goes towards a charity. Sorry, I'm not phrasing that well at all, am I? I clearly need more coffee. Sally Jane's hat pattern, the Phoenix hat. All the proceeds of that pattern, it's only $2 US, go to their charity. Or, sorry, they don't have the charity. They do great works to go towards the hospital. They're not an official charity themselves, but all the money from the purchase of that pattern goes towards that cause of helping all the children that, unfortunately, quite a few in the area end up with severe burns. So that's a great cause to consider working towards, or to buying the pattern to support. There are also a lot of them. Go and have a look in the chatter thread. There are some great ideas there for charities. Recently, Jamie Walcott, that's her Ravelry name, she put up some details about a pattern for knitting little nests. So for birds who've lost their proper nest, you can knit ones. And I believe her knitting group, her local knitting group, are doing those. And she only has a PDF, I think, of the pattern. It's not on Ravelry. So if you are interested, go and find that in the chatter thread, and you can send a PM to Jamie and she'll be happy to email it out to people as they need. Thank you everyone for your great contributions. You've got till the end of September to enter any of those 3 threads, and then early October I'll be drawing one of those 3 lovely prizes. So in episode 26, I did a review of the Cooperative Press ebook Defarge Does Shakespeare, where all the patterns are inspired by a Shakespeare play or Shakespeare character. So go and check out that review if you haven't seen it already. Cooperative Press very kindly sent me that book to review, and also have offered an e-copy as a prize. And we've had that thread open for an extra week because I didn't get to podcasting last weekend. So today's the draw. We had 54 entries, so I'll be choosing between the numbers 2 and 55, sorry. So, because post number 1 was me. Now, I was listening to the new episode of NH Knits this morning, and Claire did her draw by having Siri pick the numbers. So I'm going to see if I can do the same. Siri, pick a number between 2 and 55.
It's 39.
I hope that came up. She said, it's 39. There it is there. So the winner is... So congratulations, Mimi. The prompt for the giveaway was, tell me what your favourite pattern was from the ebook, or what your favourite Shakespeare character was. And Mimi answered that she likes the characters who dress up as another character, which is one of Shakespeare's quite common things to do. So that's definitely a great way that he got his point across. Thank you everyone for entering. I do recommend the book, so go out and get it, a copy of it, if you weren't Mimi who won this one. I will have some future giveaways coming up because Cooperative Press also very kindly sent me the What Would Madame Defarge Knits books 1 and 2, which are not Shakespeare related but are literature related. And I'll be doing reviews of those in future episodes, and then we'll have the corresponding giveaways as well. Okay, we're at acquisitions. Have you got some water or a tea or coffee? You might be here a while. Yay. First up, I was sent the pattern Agatha, which is a lovely new sock pattern by Claire, who is NH Knits from the NH Knits podcast. And she has released this pattern just recently, I think last week. It's her very first design. And it's a beautiful lacework sock pattern. And she's listed it as being for the adventurous beginner knitter. She said that it's not completely mindless. You do have to pay attention, but it's also not extremely difficult. So go and have a look. At the moment, until, I believe it might be until the 25th of September, but around then, the pattern is on sale for $2, and then after that it will go to its normal price of $3 US. So very reasonable even at the regular price, so go and have a look there. She's also running a knit along in her group for the next 6 weeks, so go, and if you haven't checked out her podcast, NH Knits, New Hampshire Knits, go and have a listen. It's a great one. She's just actually celebrated her first year podiversary, and lovely soothing Scottish accent, so go and have a listen. Go and check out her Ravelry group, because then you can get all the details for the knit along if you would like to join in with the Agatha socks. Go and have a look at her Ravelry group if you'd like to join in on the knit along for the Agatha socks. Claire has also offered very kindly to give a copy of the pattern as a prize for one of our future giveaways, so more on that soon. Another pattern that I have received was a very lovely birthday gift, and that was from Elena, who is Flying Muse. Sorry, I was going to say her podcast name and her Ravelry name, I was mixing up. Flying Muse is Elena's Ravelry name, and the Stitch Party podcast is her podcast. And that is an audio one. You can listen on iTunes, and it's a lovely podcast. Elena is a classical musician, so she likes to throw in some music in there. You can often hear it in the background, and she is great in telling stories about her sewing and her knitting as well. So go and have a listen, and thank you very much, Elena, for that great hat pattern. A very lovely little package I came home to was my parcel that I got from the Tiny Owl Knits group's tea swap. I think it was the August one. So Tiny Owl Knits group runs a lot of different swaps throughout the year, and every month there's a card swap and a tea swap, and there's like a minimum, you have to send a card and tea. I think it's about 6 tea bags or a certain grammage of tea leaves, but some people send extra. It all just depends. I got the most wonderful parcel. This is from Lilia Yulia on Ravelry, and she sent me some Japanese print stickers, which are just gorgeous, like the old wood block prints, just lovely. So there's that. She made me a card or letter, folds up, with Batgirl on it. And then this, she made me a booklet of tea. So we've got the front there with Batgirl, so she goes all around the back. Very cool. And then look at this. She's made, cut out all the different little tea shapes and different packages, and then she's stuck the tea bags in. How cool is that? So exciting. I was just blown away when I opened it. I just stood there going, wow, so cool. So thank you, Lilia Yulia. And I haven't had any of the tea yet because I wanted to be able to show everyone, so now I'm going to get into that straight after podcasting. Last episode I showed you the wonderful parcel that the very sweet Amelia sent me, and that included this Notions pouch from Stitch by Jessalou in the Halloween fabric. And I brought it out again because I'll show you, it's made to match the Stitch by Jessalou bag that I already had. And that was what prompted Amelia to send it to me, which was so sweet. So there you go, you can see them together. Aren't they cool? So yes, that's a lovely new set that I've got there. So weeks and weeks ago, as I said, I had some stress purchases. And it's just as well I did for me at the time, because as well as relieving stress, just that incy-wincy bit, the Australian dollar has plummeted lately to the point where I think it's at around 60 cents to the American dollar at the moment. So for me to go online and buy something in American dollars, I'm almost paying double. And, you know, if the indie dyer or the bag maker was getting that extra money, awesome, but they're not. They're still getting their whatever price they're charging. It's just that I'm paying more. So for the moment, my overseas purchases are going to have to be curtailed a bit because it's just too expensive. And let's face it, I don't need anything else. And, you know, I haven't even shown you the stuff that I've got to show you yet. But on that topic, if you are living in America, Europe, the UK, anywhere like that, this is a great time to go online and buy things from Australian producers, be that yarn or bags or whatever, because just as for us here in Australia to buy something in US dollars is almost double, for you to start with US dollars to buy something in Australian dollars, it's almost half price from what you'd normally pay. So I would highly recommend people to go online and see what they can get. Off the top of my head, you've got Atelia yarn on Etsy. I'll link to that in the show notes. And Skein yarn as well. Two very, very beautiful indie dyers here in Australia. I'm a big fan of both of their work. And yes, I encourage everyone to go and buy from them. But especially if you are going to be shopping in American dollars or even the euro and the pound. They're all doing way better against the Australian dollar right now. So yes, go and buy. I've come round to the point of my story now. Back before the huge plummet of the the Australian dollar, I placed an order with Little Skein. You know that I love Little Skein. I've got a lot of her products I've already shown. So I love especially the bags. Look at this. So I'll bring it closer. It's Wizard of Oz. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, I've always loved Wizard of Oz. I've mentioned before that I was in a stage production of Wizard of Oz when I was in year 10. I was too shy at the time to really let rip with singing, so I missed out on the part of Dorothy, which I was very sad at the time, but I didn't have the performance at the moment. Not that I'm necessarily saying I do now, but I'm much less shy, so I think I could bring it more. You know, I'm not so scared. But anyway, I've always loved Wizard of Oz. You may remember a few episodes ago I said that I listened to the audiobook of Wizard of Oz performed by Anne Hathaway, and it was amazing. I just loved it. So yes, very good timing to get this. It's got great green fabric inside, like the Emerald City. Lovely black canvas at the bottom. Another of my favourite classic books is Alice in Wonderland. So I have a new Alice in Wonderland bag. Very cute. Also got the black at the bottom. This has got white and navy polka dots inside. Loving that one as well. I also got some stitch markers because I can't help myself. So in the cute little squat tins. Now I was hoping my niece Emma would be here to show you these because you know how she likes to show the stitch markers, but fortunately she's got better social plans than I do. So I will take these out. These ones are called Frozen Sheep. So this is the main stitch marker. There, it's a little sheep. It's got the blue rings, so I wonder if... No, oh, there goes one. Anyway, so the lovely silver and then the icy blue colour. There we go, of those. And I got another stitch marker set, also in the little tin. And these ones are a Little Red Riding Hood theme. And they've got the wolf as the main guy. Oh, he's got a ring around his neck. Anyway, and then beautiful charcoal grey, which I love. I do have some other grey ones from Little Skein, but they're a bigger ring, so these would be good, different size. So that was my Little Skein purchase. A segue from Little Skein to this bag is that I saw the fabric for this bag in a post that Annie, who's Annie Light on Instagram, who's the creator of Little Skein, she posted that she had received a bag from Kay of Bakery Bears in this fabric. Paddington. You remember from the episode from my birthday that Damien very sweetly took me to buy a surprise Paddington Bear plush toy. So when I saw Paddington fabric, I thought, oh yes, I need one of those. So Kay very kindly made it for me as a custom order, and she was then taking holidays, so I said there was no rush, you know, we got it all organised, so that was very nice that it's come. It's got this gorgeous little padded heart with Paddington on it and all the Paddington London things. Awesome checks in the middle. So yes, love, 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 love. Very cool. I have more project bags. Let me just lean down and get them. Hi. So, from Amelia X Joy on Etsy. I was just doing some scrolling through, this was weeks and weeks and weeks ago, because I was thinking I'm going to make these zombie socks in that Desert Vista dyework yarn, and that's going to be part of the Desert Vista Dyeworks group Cast on the Dead knit along, where you can knit any of the zombie or Walking Dead colourways within the period of the seasons of the current season of Walking Dead or the new series Beware the Walking Dead. Is that what it's called? Anyway, those. And I was thinking, you know, I need a Walking Dead project bag, I think. Actually, didn't have one. I need one. So I was scrolling through Etsy and found this one, and I love it. Oh, apologies if you don't like zombies or comic goriness. So maybe if you don't like it or there's anyone you don't think that would be appropriate for, maybe just, you know, turn me away for 10 seconds or something. So I'll just show the fabric. So that fabric is from, the fabric is made of panels from the actual comic, but they've been coloured because the Walking Dead comic itself is not in colour, it's in black and white. So I'm just trying to show you a picture without it being too gory, just so you can have a look. This character here, this lady, her name is Michonne, and she's one of my favourites from the show especially, but the comic as well. And when I placed the order, I said to Amelia in a message, you know, if you've got one with fabric with a lot of Michonne on it, that'd be great. And knowing that, you know, the photo is not necessarily the one you're going to get, so I thought I would double check. And she said that the one in the photo was actually the one I was buying. It was the only one there, or rather it was the first one sold of that lot. And as you can see when I held it up, Michonne is over the whole thing. So it's awesome. So yes, that's going to be one of my socks there. To save on shipping, you know, I had to get 2 bags. So I got this one, which is very cool. Sushi. I love sushi, and I didn't have a sushi bag. So again, these purchases are needs. You know, I didn't already have them. I'm not doubling up. Never mind. Very cool. And she very kindly sent some prizes that we can use for future giveaways. So there's these stitch markers, Born to Knit, very cool. And then these little buttons and another stitch marker. I'm just trying to move it around in the bag. There we go, I Heart Knitting, and the little snowman buttons. Very cute, so they will be in a future giveaway as well. And so that was the project bag collection of wonderfulness. Let's move on to the yarn collection. Cyborg's Craft Room is a yarn dyer I've been a massive fan of for a long time. This is her badge that she sent with the order I'm about to show you. And I really like the colourways she does for Halloween. Last year I bought a couple of them, and one of the colourways was called Cauldron Bubble. And you may pick that up as being a quote from the play Macbeth. And of course I love Shakespeare, I love Macbeth. I love Cauldron Bubble as a name, and I love it as a colourway. Last year I believe I bought 2 skeins in the fingering weight. And when I saw that it was available again, I thought, ooh, I should get some more of that to get sort of a sweater's quantity together while I can, because it's one of her seasonal colourways. Now, I was going to get another 2, but there were 3 available, so I thought, just get the extra one. You never know. It's always better to have too many than too little. So this is it, and I love it. It is so pretty. It's got the black, purple, green, sort of taupiness in between. So very, very both Halloween-y, but not so overtly so that it would look strange in another context. And I think the colours are just beautiful. So it's the Asocolate base, 75/25, fingering weight in Cauldron Bubble. So So very happy with that. So I now have 5 skeins, which I think is quite a lot because I'm not really into, you know, pullover type jumpers, as we call them here, instead of sweaters. I like cardigans, and I don't think I'm going to need, what do we got? 463 yards times 5. I really don't think I'll need that much, but as I said, it is much better to have too many. And then I can do accessories, or I can do a matching one for either Sophie or Emma. It's all good. I don't care. It's all good. So yes, there's those. While I was there, I ordered this additional one. This is a worsted weight in the digital base. And the colourway is called It's All For You, Damien. Now, this spelling, E, Damien, from the movie The Omen, where Damien is the son of the devil. Now, my Damien spells his name A-N, so it's not quite the same, but I still thought it was pretty cool, so I told him, it's all for you, Damien. But it's a little more pinky than I thought it would be. I thought it was a more reddy colour, because, you know, colour monitors and whatnot. But I love it, so it might end up being something for me instead. Oh, what a shame. Never mind. Now, Megan from Cyborg's Craft Room is so lovely. She has been a sponsor of some of our giveaways in the past, but she sent us another one. This is so pretty. It's so hard for me to give this away. I might have to get some. The colourway is Graveyard Shift. This is in her software base, which is 80/20 merino nylon. And isn't it beautiful? Reds and purples, little bits of greeny blue up there. Beautiful. Now, if you've ever ordered from Cyborg's Craft Room, you will know that Megan is very good with her packing. She will actually wrap the skeins in lovely black tissue paper with a bright green ribbon. Now, I have undone this prize one because I wanted to be able to show it to you, but I've kept the wrapping and then all this lovely bag that it came in. And whoever wins it when we have it for a future giveaway, I will rewrap it so that you get the excitement of what it's like to receive Cyborg's Craft Room in the post. I mentioned Skein Yarn just a little while ago as being an Australian dyer who I highly recommend everyone buy from, but especially if you're overseas at the moment, go and take the opportunity with the dollar. So I bought some, so this is the label, Skein, and I got the Sport, which is merino silk, 50/50. And I got the True Love colourway, which is this one. So it's sort of a maroni reddy colour. And it's just so soft. Super soft merino with silk. Ooh, very nice. I got 2 skeins of that. This was going to turn into the windswept shawl that I mentioned earlier. But I decided on the One Twisted Tree yarn for the very reason that One Twisted Tree is one of the main sponsors of the Pigskin Party Knit-Along, PS Party, by Danzella Studios. And the way the PS Party works is you get different points for knitting different items using things from the sponsors. There's the major sponsors and the minor sponsors. You get different points for that. So it's all a matter of being strategic with your knitting to try and get points. I didn't anyway think I'm going to get top points because there are some people that just knit so much faster and maybe have a lot more time than I do. But whatever, I'll join in where I can. So I love, love, love this yarn, but I'm just not using it right yet because it's not going to win me extra points. But that I've got the 2 skeins. They are 363 yards or 332 meters for each. So they will definitely be a lovely shawl that I can wrap around my neck, all lovely and soft. So more on those later. One Twisted Tree, as I said, Shrewd Lady Mary. I also got a couple of other colourways. I've still got these in the plastic. This one is in the same base, which is the Lavish base, which is a sport. But as you can see, it's quite a heavy sport, so almost like a, you know, between a sport and DK. So this is the same base. This colourway is called Miss Fisher's Pearl Handled Pistol. Now, if you follow Prairie Girl Danny on Instagram, or if you hopefully listen to the Prairie Girls Knit and Spin podcast, Danny made a Mama Vertebrae cardigan with this colourway, and I think that would look beautiful. Well, I mean, it does look beautiful. What I'm saying is I think this will look beautiful in a shawl as well, which is probably what I will use it for, but I haven't decided yet. And this is the colourway that I really, really wanted to get my hands on because it's one of Danny's Halloween ones. Oh, this one's already open, so I'll grab one out. So I wonder why I felt I had to get this yarn. Love the colours. This one is called And I Was the Prey. I also love that colourway name. It just sounds so sort of like a gothic romance, something you'd find in a novel. And I was the prey. Oh, swoon. Yes. I swooned when the yarn arrived. It's just beautiful. This is on her prime sock base, which is a fingering weight. And I have, as I said, 2 skeins of that. So I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I just knew I had to have it. So again, I didn't have any. So it's need. And, you know, with this base, I didn't have any of this weight. Total need. So what's a girl to do? You know, you just got to do it. The final thing I have to show you in acquisitions I just got this morning because I had a lovely brunch with the beautiful Mel, who is Dubai Mel on Instagram and Ravelry. Mel and I have been, you know, corresponding online for a little while. She is an expat from Australia, currently living in Dubai, hence her name. And you will have seen on my birthday episode, she sent me a wonderful parcel. We were just doing a mini skein exchange, or she was sending me rather, and she sent me this huge parcel and a birthday gift, and it was all lovely. So she was in Perth for a little while, and we managed to be able to hook up our schedules, so that was really lovely. And she gave me my own bag from Loop in London, which is a wonderful knitting store that I hear about on various English podcasts, especially from Danny on Prairie Girl, wrong Danny. Danny from Little Bobbins in the UK often mentions Loop, as does Helen, Curious Handmade podcast, so that's very exciting. And she also gave me this beautiful soap, and the brand is Emma's Soap, so when I show my niece I'll have to make it clear that it's actually Auntie Minda's soap. But yes, thank you so much, Mel. It was wonderful to meet with you. And I think we've got to the end of acquisitions. Can it be? Are you okay? Need to have a sit down? Yes. So spinning me right round, there have been a few things, but to be honest, I just feel like the last few weeks are in a total blur. But something I listened to a couple of weeks ago was episode 23 of the Teaching Your Brain to Knit podcast. This was all about colour and how our brain interprets colour, how that affects our knitting, and it was so fascinating. So I highly recommend their podcast generally. It's Margaret and Catherine, but especially that episode 23 talking about colour, because I think it's really, really interesting. I'm actually going to go back and re-listen to it. It was really good. Other listening I have done, I finished the book Gone Girl on audiobook. It's sort of, the twist in the story was a very good twist, but after the twist was revealed, I felt it just dragged on a little bit, and by the end I was just ready to be done with it. I think I actually listened to the last hour or half an hour of the audiobook on 1.5 speed because I just wanted to get through it. Damien has seen the movie and said he really enjoyed it, but I might watch it eventually, but I'm not keen to watch it now because it annoyed me, and I just felt the ending was a bit But you know, as I said, it was enjoyable. I just felt it went on a little bit long, so just my opinion, of course. I also listened to Go Set a Watchman, the new Harper Lee. Very unfortunately, I couldn't make it to my book club where we were going to be discussing it, and that's a real shame because I really wanted to see what other people thought of it. So hopefully when I catch up with my book club next time, I'll be able to have some side conversations about the book. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. What my hesitation is in regards to how some of the characters are different and in a very major way from, and I don't mean written differently, I mean something, you know, that they do is very different to how you think, and that's the whole point of the story. And this is all a bit vague, so I don't want to give anything away because it's quite a reveal. So I still very much enjoyed it. It was really nice sort of dipping back into that same world and being able to hear from the characters again. That was quite short. I think it was only about 5 hours in the audiobook. So yeah, I'd recommend it, but I don't think I'd go back and reread it in the same way that I'd be happy to do with To Kill a Mockingbird. So that's something, but you know, there's the whole controversy around whether or not Harper Lee actually wanted to release that book or whether it's someone releasing it because they're going to get royalties from it, which I hope not. I hope she wanted to release it. I hope she just wanted to get it out there. But who knows. I've now started listening to the novel The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. I didn't know much about that book other than it was about, I guess, African-American history within a novel form. So I wasn't expecting it to be upbeat or anything, but from the opening it's really full-on, quite horrifying what's happening to some of the characters. And as I said, I've had some not so nice news in terms of family health lately, so I've actually had to put the book on hold, not because the topic is similar or anything like that. It's just a very downbeat, serious book, and I just couldn't put my head any further into that headspace at the moment because it was just a little bit too much. But I'm enjoying it. It's being read by the author, which makes it always enjoyable, I think, because they know exactly where to put the meaning into how they say the words. So yes, I'm enjoying it, but I'll have to go back to it, so I'm not sure what I'm going to listen to next. I might go into the third Harry Potter book. That's nice, light and fluffy, we'll see. I've also been listening to the Shiny Bees podcast. She's been going for quite a while, but I recently heard about her, I think from Helen on the Curious Handmaid podcast, because both those podcasts were up for awards in the UK for Podcaster Awards, and spoiler alert, they both won one of the categories. And I just listened to Helen's new episode, and she was saying it was quite the uproar that 2 knitting podcasts won out of the UK. So I thought that was very awesome. So yay, knitting. Other than that, I've been just floating along, trying to be healthy. That's what I've been finding, that I've been so busy lately and tired and no energy that I really haven't been eating properly. But as these things tend to do when you have people close to you having health issues, it sort of brings to the fore that really all that matters in life is love, family, friends, and being healthy. You know, if you haven't got your health, you haven't got anything. Healthy minds, healthy bodies. So I've been really trying to focus on that and find ways to have things ready so that when I'm running out of the door for work, I've got something that's healthy, that's ready to go, that I've prepared the night before, so I don't have to just go, oh, random piece of dry bread, shove that in my mouth. It's like, you know what I mean? So yes, I'll see how that goes, hopefully well. Because I have found now that I've been doing that and making sure I'm getting enough vitamins, that I have actually had a lot more energy. So even though this week has been insane, I've had, I think, 4 out of the 5 days at work this past time, I've had no less than 11 hours in the office, then my commute back and forth. So yeah, I've been crazy busy. And again, I'm not implying that I'm busier than anyone else. Everyone has their busyness. But I've been exceedingly busy for me, especially. And yeah, but I've been finding I've been tired, but my energy levels have actually been really good. So how's that for amazing? If you actually put the right nutrients into your body goes well. Isn't that weird? Anyway, we shall see. Let's hope that keeps up. I think that's a wrap for episode 29. So thank you very much to everyone for joining me. It's lovely to spend some time with you. I know that everyone is busy. I know there's a lot of other podcasts out there, so it's great to have you here in the YarderWoman group. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Hopefully there won't be any delays, but we'll see how we go. That's just life, isn't it? Until next time, enjoy yourself, take care, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.